Peace, peace, peace. So, we're moving off into that wisdom, right? So we in the quality month, right? In the Gregorian calendar, wisdom cycle, wisdom cycle. Look, the point I was making was, pretty much, if you use Leviticus 11, right? If you use Leviticus 11, that will enable you to eat right and exact from a omnivore's point of view, right? As far as the application of the meat consumed. But to modify wisdom, build, or destroy in the 1 to 40 rules and regulations will not be mentioned in this degree, this lesson, this cipher. That's saying W.D. Farad asked the question, what was Yaku's first rules and regulations, including all laws enforced on manufacturing the devil? And now that you know and understand 129, what's your quote on that? You not the quotation from Elijah, but can you born it? Can you do build on that and show improved mathematics, right? All right, so that's the science behind it. Now you're at the level where not talking about the new gods, but all of us that know and understand. We at the level now, we become where Elijah was sitting there because we have the what? The understanding. And so now, WD can ask us the question. So, what are the rules and regulations which are not being mentioned in this lesson dealing with the God degree on the 12 Jews? The God degree of the 12 Jews dealing with the Father, Cipher Divine. Culture, being born to that culture, cipher, right? Quality. I mean, cipher gonna give you understanding the cipher, and then that's gonna be understanding the cipher with the culture, right? And then you got the equality. They're gonna give you the culture cipher. So, anyway, when we go to the next level of animal consumption, and you dealing with split hoof and chewer cud, pretty much you're not supposed to be eating the snake bird, the cockatrice, the one that walks of himself, because even at the end of the day, when you clean him up, he's still an omnivore. It's still against the rules of knowledge of self. You can do it if you know how to run a farm, and you can clean them up as far as 85s can eat it, because they listening to Paul and not Yahshua. But that's a whole nother story in and of itself. The mathematics of 120 says no cockatrice, right? No snake bird. The birds that were permissible are the ones that jump. If you was going to eat a bird, you should be eating jumping birds, right? Elijah said the babies out of they used to call them squabs or whatever he was calling them, baby pigeons, and he was saying that in the lesson in How to Eat to Live before they left the nest. But those pigeons were pigeons from domesticated, not the ones walking around in Manhattan, not them. Oh God. No, you gotta be clean. They were generations domesticated. And I still say that ain't right and exact. Not based on, I'm answering WD and I read and if I read the 1 to 40 and did the knowledge to problem book, How to Eat to Live book 1 and book 2, the Otisville tape from a law book, tape 1 and tape 2, African Holistic Health, any of those ancient books from Kemet on medicine and herbs, CB, Dr. CB, who else would you look at? Earhart, The Science of Health, veganology, raw foodologist, What's with Wheat, Wheat Brain, any of those researches, you'll say to yourself, all right, now I see why you said if you're going to eat animals, then you should eat organic. You should not eat the cockatrice, the snake bird, or any bird that walks of itself or is a carnivore bird or a scavenger bird. Only the birds that eat seeds and nuts and things like that. Those kind of birds, they're vegetarian birds. You can eat them. They're permissible if you was going to be an animal eater. True and living shouldn't really be killing their lower kin. All those, they bow down to you. You the original man. You the God. You create everything in the universe. And now you killing your own creation and consuming it like a wild beast would do. Lion, tiger, carnivore, or omnivore bear. Alright? Man is man, the original man. So, now, if you go into How to Eat to Live, you're going to see 24 hours before the next meal, 36 hours before the next meal, things like that. We was traveling like this: 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. That's how we were doing our hours. Right? We might get up to 72 hours, 96 hours. Because if you go into lessons, you can go 96 hours. That's knowledge, king, not cipher, wisdom, Lord equality, divine God equality, born equality. Or we could do wisdom, myself, divine cipher, master. Today, mathematics, wisdom, myself, divine cipher, master. That born, builder, destroyer, and what? Understanding. Which that born knowledge, then you get to that what? Wisdom. But the manifestation of itself, each letter in the mathematics each mathematics has a letter. So it's a number and letters correlate in the mathematics without even going to the alphabet, right? So we know when we see the knowledge, we also see the numeral that is correlation to the knowledge. That's how you adding it up. How would you know? Because knowledge itself, like I say, born equality come out to be knowledge, power still come out to be equality. It still wouldn't come out to be the knowledge itself is the knowledge. So if knowledge and knowledge come out to be wisdom, then it wouldn't come out to be that if it was born equality. Because even if it went down to equality, it would be equality. Equality would come out to be knowledge. Equality would still come out to be an understanding. If it was going that way, that's why you would have to clarify, I'm going to use the alphabets and born it, or I'm going to use the mathematics and born it. So if you go to the mathematics, right, and you going with the math, and you say, we're going to deal with the amount of time from the last meal, then you're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however many hours you're dealing with, right? So usually people get 8 hours rest, and then 8 hours work, and 8 hours play, 24 hours. So you could break your 24, you could do 16 hours in an 8 hour window for eating. And you could break that window down further to a 4 hour window. You can do it to a 2 hour window. You can do it to a 1 hour window. You can hack the system by not giving it more than 2,000. You could still be fasting and be eating because you're giving yourself only 500 of the 2,500 calories that you need. And if you're using net carbs, you could be eating a full meal of net carbs under raw plant based and almost never get past 2,500. You couldn't even eat that much. Where you could eat one bagel and already go over. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And then on top of it, you had the glyphosate and all the other poisons in it. So let's get back to the point now. So you know that you can basically use Leviticus 11. That is like it in a nutshell. You can use Leviticus 11. That'll break down the whole thing, and you'll be good. And then the next hit would be if you going vegetables, but you still dealing with cooked food, then you still want to do the same thing. Just like if you going vegan and you going raw. Well, usually when they go in raw foodologists, They never run into the problem of the grain because you can't eat grain and pseudo cereal raw. You can only eat nuts, seeds, sprouted. You can't even eat legumes raw. So you miss everything that's poison. You don't get hit. And if you following how you eat to live and you're not eating animal food like kale and mustard greens and collard greens and all, you missing the poison there because they spraying that stuff heavily. That's why they pushing kale. And then if you're only eating organic, then you missing pesticides altogether, right? So you missing that. So you eating raw fruit and vegetables and it's organic. If you eating animals, you eating according to Leviticus 11 and you're only eating organic. Right? We breaking it down for you. If you eating raw, you was already eating raw. The only slip up you were doing, because the raw food people were getting banged by the pesticides that they sprayed the raw foods that they ate. So now we had to switch over to organic, and so now your numbers came back right and exact. So everybody that got poisoned, those are the rules and regulations we were using as a 5%. We was teaching it to the unconscious and letting them help and heal themselves too. Right? Because the way to knowledge of self is through the laws of dietary law. That's why when you first came into knowledge of self, they wanted you to do the 3-day fast. And then you start learning how to eat 1 meal a day. Well, that was like the basic rule. I don't know how we got away from that as a group, but yeah, we got away from that. A lot of us still doing it. Most of us, I would say, are still doing it, but the real shit is we were still getting poisoned because we didn't know about them. We thought you could wash the spray, the poison off, but they using Yaku's rules and regulations, which is not being mentioned in this lesson, by genetically modifying. They're doing all the Yaku's things. Get that plus degree on the 600-year process and how he talking about when Yaku was dealing with the wasp and bumblebees and then taking it to the next level and all that genetically modifying. You gotta look at the lesson. Also connect that with Imhotep. Connect that with Thoth. Connect that. Go up. Go all into the Emerald Tablets. Go all into the Kabbalah. And go and start looking and seeing a lot of times the dates. Go back to when we was dealing with this science in Genesis. Go back like that. Go back to how long we've been making albinos. How long that been going on. Go on that. Go on the fact that just because Yaku made rules and regulations and enforced all laws by manifesting the devil, it's because he was using all rules and regulations and he was enforcing it. And he was creating manifestations that are not right and exact. Doesn't mean that the Europeans' manifestation prior to his ancestors wasn't already manifesting from the original man, because we made albinos long before Yaku made knowledge born. You see what I'm saying? Look at the Europeans, who we say they're not really Europeans. They really, in these modern days, they would be East Asians. Far Northeast Asian, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, red-haired Thor look. All the way from Germany going all the way across Siberia. Look at those Europeans, and then, of course, the top, Scandinavia, Finland, and all that. Go look at them. And then look at the other ones. That's Greece, Italy, going across. Not Poland, Czechoslovakia, and all that, what they used to call that, and USSR and all that. Not those Europeans. Those are in that Thor bunch. Look at the ones that was under Zeus. And then from Zeus going across, where you got the Spartans and all them, the amalgamation, miscegenation, Turkey going across, the whole Mediterranean is amalgamated and miscegenated all the way to Italy, Sicily, Spain, Portugal. Only top part, France and all of them, was trying to stay with the Anglo-Saxon. The axe and the sword and the axe and the spear. They were staying in the shield. And come back on your shield or come back with your shield. Soft motherfuckers using bow and arrows and crossbows. That's how they talk, the Spartans. And go on across till finally you get to Britain, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, them. Now, they pretty much running shit. Remember the Spanish Armada? They was running shit for a minute. Portuguese and all that. And before them, the Germans was running shit, and Thor and all them was all over the place, and that, right? And then before them, the Macedonians was running shit. And now, before them, who you think was running shit? The Chinese people stayed in China running their shit. Japanese was staying in Japan running their shit. Right? India and all them was over there. That was going all the way across. Pakistan, all them. They the same people. Sri Lanka, all of them. They just let Britain break them all up and they went with it. But they really all the same people. Look at them. They all look the same. And then you go into the Middle East people, the amalgamated children of Yaqub and all of that other shit that went on, miscegenation and right there, that's that mixed belt. They got the brown seed, the black seed, the yellow seed, the white seed. They got all that shit right there. You can see it all right there. That's where all the nations mixed and merged, and they ran the seed, the knowledge seed, the foundation to it all. Eventually go back to the knowledge seed. They were there first. They were everywhere first. You could see their monuments all over the planet. The lambs ruled them. They was there first, right? And then you come to find out that's you. Oh, shit, now I see why they was hiding it. See, that's where you end up coming back to. That's why in knowledge itself, they want you to be open to who you fucking are. It's hard to do it when your vibration's so close to the earth that you like the dirt. You're moving too slow. You earthbound. You're more in death than you are in life. You're not moving like vapor. You're moving like ice. See, it's still water, but it's moving so slow. You know, that's why you look at the knowledge of self, people, they have a dietary law that keeps raising the vibration. Eventually you come to the point where you understand the perishing desire for meat. And you understand that you don't need your protein and your fat from animal. You need your protein and fat from the sun because you're really just trying to get to the sun. What do you need a middleman for? We know, he said, man does not need a middleman to Allah. I am itself is the true reality, son of man, God. You don't need a middleman. So you don't need a middleman to the sun either. Everything you need is sun energy. It's all coming from the sun because the son of man. And all that come from the son of man, right? That's where you're going with it. So we take it to the next level, and we're going to do, you're going to get to the next level eventually, and you're going to be a raw food person, and you're going to be doing one meal a day, and you're going to be hacking the system because what you're trying to do is reboot all the way back. And when you look at your nails, you're going to notice that you have that half moon at the top of the cuticle. That's going to come all the way back. You're going to have it on your toes. It's going to come back there. Your liver's going to regenerate itself. Your pancreas is going to come back alive. It's going to wake up. Your gallbladder, your spleen, your kidneys. You're going to push all the poison out. The lipomas and all of them will start leaving because that's coming from the glyphosate and all them other poisons coming out of the wheat and the grain and this and that and the animals that ate the grain. And it's everywhere that the 85% and the European 10%, they put it in the food. That's how it's getting you. And so the knowledge itself is waking you up to the point where you stopping the pharmaceutical companies from making money. That's the whole thing. Is knowledge itself is a two-edged sword. It saves you and it destroys the devil. It takes the devil off your planet. You just got to be willing to bear witness to it. You can't be stuck in 6. You got to move to 7 when it comes to food. You can't, food, clothing, shelter, love, peace, and happiness. Right? Knowledge, understanding, freedom, justice, equality. Then you get food, clothing, shelter, love, peace, and happiness. So agriculture, land, that's what we supposed to be going for. Easy to do. We all start going to places like down south if we need to, where it's Fertile Crescent, where we could grow. Up north, you could have your greenhouses. You get with your people. You get the house on that block. Let him go get the house on that block. Let her go get that house on this block. And we all buy up the house on that block. We all hang together anyway. We might as well be buying up shit like that together. And then we start coming together as one. That way, little things like that. So you can come together individually and as one. We can start passing wealth down to the children. So that the children, your grandchildren, all them could start off with a place to live already that they familiar with, that they've been there, that they growing their own food. Everything could change. You could raise the vibration. And in no time, we could be in no amount of time, you could take the devil off your planet. Right? And then we can stop worrying about little bullshit that we always getting at each other on. That's just because we ain't preoccupied. If we was all worried about this land, we wouldn't have time to be bickering and arguing with each other about minor shit. All right, so okay, did I give you everything you needed for the food? The last part, I don't care which group you in. Omnivore, vegan, vegetarian, raw food. Remember, you don't want any processed food. Keep away from all processed food. If it's in a package, when you open the package, you should be able to look at it and say, like, I got the boysenberries and the blueberries, and if I get dry mangoes and apples. When you look at it, when it comes, you can see what it is. If you read the back, you can see what is it on there? Organic apples. Shouldn't have nothing else on the label. That all that other polysoy bait 80, none of that is right and exact. I don't know if you need a dictionary or encyclopedia or medical dictionary, then you shouldn't be eating it. If it's in a box, you really shouldn't be fucking with it. That's when you really got to be careful and make sure that whatever is in there looks like it did when it was in the plant form, when it was in the tree and whatever. It still look the same. Right? Shouldn't be too much different. And a bag of macadamias, when you pull that macadamia out, if you open up another macadamia from the tree, it should look exactly the same. You want to make sure it's organic and things like that. But the point I'm making is, no grain. Leave grain out of your diet unless you're using ancient grain. We have a lesson on what are the ancient grains. Wonderful was talking about the ancient grains, right? And one of them, quinoa. That was like one of the main ones. A pseudo cereal. The pseudo cereals aren't bad. Wild rice, that black one. That's a pseudo cereal. Those kind of, but right now, are you trying to boot? When you're trying to reboot your system, I was trying to keep all y'all away from that. Even the bodybuilders and the martial artists and the boxers and all of them. You want to go down to your true body weight, and then you want to increase the muscle mass so that when the scale looks at you, they just look at the body weight. They think that you're overweight until they do the scale to see the body fat, and the body fat is down to like 5 to 7% for men and about 18% for women. You're good. You be athletic. You should be able to do a flip. Even if you don't know how to do it, your body should be able to do it. And there's different moves you can do to see if you have that kind of mobility. If you're training your joints and ligaments, start off with the food. 80% of what is going on with bodybuilding, martial arts, boxing is the food. What are you feeding them? Are they eating clean or are they eating dirty? Right? So I'm showing you how to eat clean, and they talking about ketose and all that. Just go to How to Eat to Live. That's what they mimicking it and calling it ketones now. And then the fathers, that's what they're doing. They're doing everything that Elijah and Allah and WD and Marcus and Noble Drew Ali and Dr. Ben and Dr. Jeffries and Dr. Clark and Dr. CB and Dr. Francis Crest Wrestling and J.A. Rogers and Dr. Lane Poole and all these great scholars. I mean, there's so many of them, I can't even name them all for you right at this moment. But if you go to the Prince Namor Facebook, you need to be connected to somebody in the 5% that's connected to Prince Namor's Facebook, and then you'll see it. Otherwise, you'll see the comic character Prince Namor, and it won't be the website for Ancient Order Free Asiatics linking you to the dietary laws and all that at the 5%. But if you look up Ancient Order Free Asiatics, that will help you connect. It's not just easy to connect to us because we got to protect ourselves from the swine who go and trample on our jewels. We're not going to let them run our jewels into the ground and teach falseism that we teach. And we don't teach that. We teach this. Right? Because what we teach doesn't destroy the world. It builds on the world. It adds on to the cipher. If you write and exact, you don't have to worry about the devil doing shit. He won't be able to do nothing because you're already right and exact. But you need more than just you. That's when they talking about a law. Like, everybody coming together is a law. That a law I'm talking about. Then if you individual a law, you might get physically taken out. A law can't die because man is not the body nor the soul. Man is mind. Right? Man mean mind. The physical composition is a motor vehicle like to use to manifest in the physical plane of existence. A man made the physical body, made it infinity. That's why you got man, woman, child. That makes it infinity on a genetic level. But the original man is the mind. And the mind is throughout the body. Is the mind in the brain? No, the brain is just an organ. You got 3 physical brains in your physical body. One in your heart, one in your stomach, and one in your fucking cranium. Right? And so the first brain that is activated when the manifestation was made manifest was the heart brain. If the heart brain wasn't pumping, the rest of that shit wouldn't have been able to manifest and attach itself to the uterus wall. Air particles in a clot of blood attach itself to the uterus wall. Right? So, you know that lesson. Anyway, back to the major point. No grain, no starch, no soy, no sugar, no dairy. Right? Leave those alone. Organic fruits and vegetables. Try to go totally raw. That would definitely reboot your system faster. 120 days, you should be at the reboot point if you've been doing 16 hours fasting. Already, you said, damn, I can't do no 16 hours. I ain't fasting years. Yes, you can. Watch. 4 hours before you go to bed, get 8 hours of rest, and 4 hours after you wake up. There's your 16. And you got 8 hours to gorge yourself. Don't even watch the calories if you're eating right and exact. If you're not eating right and exact, that's when you're going to see the calorie deficit. Or the calorie, you have too many calories, you're going to increase in weight. That's just thermodynamics. If you the net carbs versus the calories is what changes. If you ate, I don't know, let's say a pound of bread, and today and you look at your blood, and then tomorrow you ate a pound of fruit and vegetables, you have sugar. They'll both get sugar in it, but that sugar coming out them fruits and vegetables, them raw organic fruits and vegetables, nowhere near what that pound of bread going to do if you ate a pound of fruits and vegetables. See what I'm saying? Your liver will love you. It doesn't like all that other shit. Contrary to belief, your liver likes protein from plants. It likes fat from plants and likes vitamins and minerals from plants. The real test would be, let you be a carnivore and let your wife be a vegan and see who lives longer. See who be on earth longest. The meat eater, just eat your meat and just be gorging yourself. Or you jerk chicken and all other crazy shit y'all motherfuckers be eating. And going to the devil and getting the meat and letting him kill your animal for you. And you thinking you ain't got a sale and you home jerking it and frying it or baking it or seasoning it or doing whatever the fuck we do. You know, we season it up and making it fall off the bone and tasting so goddamn good we don't know what to do in meat eating heaven. And then when it hits your system and you digest it and then absorption and then you drop the waste off and whatever the case may be. And then you look at your numbers. And then you look at the numbers of the person who's did the same thing you did. They just didn't eat any animal. Same amount of protein, same amount of fat, same amount of vitamins, minerals from the plants and stuff. And then see whose blood looks the best. And you tell me which one you want. Because you could both live the same. You have the pharmaceuticals, they don't. But you won't be learning no Wing Chun, making those kind of athletic moves. Or you all stiff up and got arthritis and diabetes and high blood pressure and all that shit. You ain't going to be able to do it. And they could be 60, 70 years old and they're sparring and teaching the youth and making sure they know how to defend themselves. And be able to keep up with them. If anything, the youth need to try to keep up with them. Now that's how it really goes down. I don't see all those animal eating people heart all halfway working no more. I don't see them in the Shaolin Temple. I don't see them in there. I see a few old ones that look out of shape and they trying to get in shape. The rest of them, I don't see none. I don't see no toe up people in there. They might be trying to sit in the gym and act like they doing something. You can't just sit in Shaolin and act like you doing something. You gotta lift up that leg. Everybody gonna say he can't lift up his leg. How you gonna be in here? You can't hold your leg up in the air and stand on one foot for at least one song. Then you you're in terrible shape. You need to reevaluate everything. You defending the laws, mathematics, and you can't even run down the block. How? You can't run down the block. You're done. You're already damaged because you didn't listen to How to Eat to Live. Otisville, Elijah, WD. I don't care which order you in. You Hebrew and you didn't listen to How to Eat to Live from Leviticus, you fucking up. You a Muslim and you didn't listen to what you supposed to have did. You with Elijah and them, you ain't really doing. You fat. How the fuck you fat and you doing How to Eat to Live? You ain't doing How to Eat to Live. You can't be fat off How to Eat to Live. It's impossible. What are you talking about? You shouldn't have hypertension and diabetes if you eating right and exact. You can't eat right and exact and get those. That's why the laws were laid down so that the right and exact people could be seen and the unright and exact and people wouldn't be able to handle it. Your immune system and none of that shit. Right? So I gave y'all the last of the code, right? No grain, no starch, no sugar, no soy, no dairy. I prefer to even add on no animals, but that's not part of the law really. Because if you're going to eat animals and you use in Leviticus 11, then you still good. And you won't have all that inflammation and crazy shit if you're doing it like you're supposed to. Like, you ain't supposed to be eating no steak every night and all of that shit. That shit ain't good for you. I wouldn't give a fuck if it is organic. You gotta do it in moderation. You know, and you can't, every vegetable ain't right and exact. Some vegetables ain't right and exact. How do I know that? Well, wheat is a vegetable and it ain't right and exact. Sugar is a vegetable and it ain't right and exact. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. What is arsenic? It ain't an animal. It's a plant. Alright? And I'm out. Peace.